right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kent Murawski from the Boston, Massachusetts area, and I help high achievers find fulfillment without sacrificing success. And I do that as an executive coach, author, and speaker. To tell you why I'm here today, it's really simple for me. I'm here to help people, help you, and those you lead to move beyond burnout and overwhelm. So I'm really excited to be with you today. Let me just start with a statement. I believe the world is moving at an unsustainable pace. If you think about it, we can get anywhere in the world in 24 hours. We can tune into television, news, the internet, social media 24 hours a day. With the advancement of technology, the overload in decision making, decision fatigue, we're running from one thing to the next, parents, one game to the next, one activity to the next, without really considering the cost. And sometimes I wish instead of the Staples easy button, we just had a stop button where we could just press it and like Professor Xavier with his mind control could just stop the situation. And that's all without even talking about the unsustainable workload that many of us have. Jen alluded to this. The World Health Organization identified burnout as occupational phenomenon and said it was workplace stress left unmanaged. And I agree with Jen. While work is definitely a huge part of burnout, it's not the only part. So here's how I define burnout. It's an extremely simple definition. I define it as a state of relational, emotional, spiritual, or physical depletion and or exhaustion. So as a high achiever in my 20s, I only paid attention to one or two areas. And I thought if I had a few things together, that everything else would just fall into place. But I ended up on the floor one day having a nervous breakdown because I was really only paying attention to one thing and neglecting a whole lot of other things. So I chose the topic of burnout prevention and recovery. And my title for this short keynote is Moving Beyond Work-Life Balance. Now, when it comes to work-life balance, people either seem to love it or hate it. They either swear by it or they swear at it. And you may not agree with me, but here's what I believe. I believe work-life balance doesn't work. So when you think of the word balance, what's the picture that comes to mind? Well, 9 out of 10 people generally picture a scale immediately that is balanced and is kind of swinging perfectly balanced and trying to adjust each side so it remains equal. See, people mean different things when they say balance, and they're not all bad. Some of them are right on. But here's the problem. Balance means equilibrium, and life is anything but equal. And so if you think about it, we work for 8 hours, ideally. We sleep for 8 hours, hopefully. And we have a few hours in the morning and evening, along with some sporadic weekend time for everything else: fun, family, friendships, hobbies, spiritual communities, serving others. The list goes on. So here's what I believe. The answer to burnout and overwhelm is not balance, it's wholeness. So wholeness does not imply equality, it implies completeness. It acknowledges that there are many important but not equal parts of our lives. And so in Jewish culture, they have this word that describes perfectly what I'm talking about. The word is shalom. Some of you may have heard it, and it simply means to be whole or complete. It means the way things are supposed to be. But here's the kicker. When that word is used as a verb, here's what it means. And I love this definition. It's so good. Shalom means actions that lead to a state of wholeness. So I've created this 4-part framework as a barometer of wholeness. And like the 4 chambers of the heart that all need to work for the heart to be healthy, these 4 areas help us move towards wholeness. You see, because as high achieving professionals, we push, and we're not always sure how to achieve work-life integration or which areas to pay attention to. So the 4-part framework covers 4 different areas. I call it the Rhythms of Rest framework, REST, and here's what it stands for. R is relational rhythms. That tracks our most important relationships. E is emotional and mental rhythms. How do we stay mentally and emotionally healthy? S is spiritual rhythms. That could refer to faith or a robust philosophy of life. And then T is tangible rhythms. And this pays attention to our energy and the tangible outcomes we produce with our hands and minds. So you say, Kent, those are a lot of areas. Where do we start? Well, I tell people to simply start here. Start with the pain. pain is that voice that screams at us, telling us that something's wrong. And here's my call to action. In the next 24 to 48 hours, I want you to just think about one area that is screaming at you and write down one step you need to take in that area, and then take that step in the next 24 to 48 hours. So think about one area of pain, write down one step you need to take, and then do it in the next 24 to 48 hours. Thanks so much for letting me share today, Simone. I appreciate it.